Man, I'm recording so many videos now. Like when I'm outside, like not in a cell, in a jail. I have other stuff to do than being locked up. You know what I'm saying? And this is the only form of talking when I'm in here. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I don't do this, then I will basically go insane because I need to release carbon dioxide that is stuck fucking in my brain. You know what I'm saying? So I need to talk. It doesn't matter. It's good to have my camera with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking as louder as it could compared to when on the street. When on the street, I talk freaking to the air like that, you know. My voice will reach to heaven, to my heavenly Father, you know what I'm saying? You know, like in high school, I yearned for science and much, you know what I'm saying? I was yearning for science, man. We didn't have much science in our curriculum in high school, and so I studied geology and astronomy besides my high school work. You know what I'm saying? Geology and astronomy fascinated me like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? When growing up, so and then, but I couldn't put my hands on what I was reading on and astronomy as compared to geology. You know what I'm saying? So I concentrated more on geology than astronomy. You know what I'm saying? And so geology is basically physical geography or the vice versa. Physical geography is basically geology. Geology is a vocation, whereas physical geography is a subject. You know what I'm saying? And so I did study geology when I was in high school beside my high school work, and then when I got in 10th grade, you know what I'm saying, we had a subject that's called physical geography. You know what I'm saying? Physical geography is basically geology. You know what I'm saying? So all my grades with A's. God damn it! You know what I'm saying? I said, "What the fuck, man?" You know, our instructor his name was Depp. You know what I'm saying? He graduated from ZTI. What was that? It's a teacher training, one of the teacher training institutes in Liberia, right? So he would be teaching, and oh, day he graduated from LU, University of Liberia. I have no idea, but anyways, I said I basically know what he was saying. Sometimes I would walk out of the class and say shit. You know, in Liberia is like that. We don't have books, so we'll write after the teacher, after the instructors on the board. You know, and sometimes I would get out and not even taking my notes and shit. So all my grades, most of my grades were A's in his subject. Goddamn, because physical geography is geology. He talk about erosion and sediments and different kind of rocks and shit, and and the sediment and all the fossils and shit. You know what I'm saying? How rocks and mountains and and volcanoes are formed and all that kind of shit. I knew all that. You know what I'm saying? As well as chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Our chemistry instructor was this dude called Mike Gates, a white dude from the states of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Basically, chemistry is geology. You know what I'm saying? So all my grades, even though when I was studying geology, there was chemistry, but there was no. I didn't study all the mathematics and all the formula and all that shit. But I basically knew what he was saying in chemistry. My grades were A's look why in chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Now, going back to economy, you know what I'm saying? I did political science in Denmark. You know what I'm saying? I audited in political science. You know what I'm saying? I want to do theology. I wanted to do theology when I came from Liberia to Denmark. You know what I'm saying? I went to a student council at a theological department, but then you know coming in theology in Denmark was a little more difficult as compared to doing political science. So he advised me, student council advised me, why can't you go and try political science department? See, I wanted to learn. It doesn't matter what it was. So I went and I was auditing. I didn't do the whole course. I was auditing. I'm saying I audited in international politics, comparative politics, economics, and statistics. And see, the political science department and law departments were connected. You know what I'm saying? So I want to do another course at the law department. I did. I ordered that in cohabitation. Cohabitation simply is, two or married people living together without being married. Or okay, two people living together without no legal document. They have their own law, certain law that applies to cohabitation. So I did cohabitation besides my political science subjects, but economics was my thing in political science, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know, I'm going way back, you know what I'm saying? The three factors of production, you know what I'm saying? We have capital, then we have human labor, and then we have machineries, you know what I'm saying? Capital's out there. I, you know, it doesn't matter what business you want to establish or produce and whatever. Say, production. If you have to have some sort of a capital to start with. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much it is. You know what I'm saying? Capital can also be as in the form of any kind of assets that you have. You can sell those assets to get hand on to put your hand on high money. You know what I'm saying? So capital can be money. It can be any kind of assets, your houses or machine, or whatever valuable shit that you have to sell. Those are a form of capital. And then we have human labor. Cause it doesn't matter what you produce, you have to somehow use human beings to produce. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So without human labor, it's impossible. Though you are using machinery, it is motherfuckers that are sitting on the machine or operating the machines to do the work, unless it's a robots, you know what I'm saying? And then we have machinery, missionary or machinery. You know what I'm saying? I can't pronounce the word. I'm sorry. It's machines. The machines are the subjects. And missionary, I think, is a adjective. Or yeah, I don't know. Or verb. No, not a verb. Forget it. I'm on economic. I'm not trying to go into English. So, but you know what I'm talking about. So without machine, especially in an industrial world where most of production means the production is based on machine. And so without machines in the Western world, it's impossible to produce to maximize your production. It depending on what you're producing. You know what I'm saying? The corn, for instance, the farmers in Europe or in the States or in the Western world depend solely, well, haven't have machine. You know what I'm saying? Where you have, like my father-in-law, when I was married, he was a farmer. You know what I'm saying? He used the machine going around and plucking or harvesting the corn, whatever, on his machine. So without a machine, it was impossible to do it. That you can't do it. So you can't solely rely on human labor. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. But little did I know that I was gonna run to be the potential or president of the Liberia. For some reason, somehow I knew that somehow I was gonna go back to Liberia one of these days and run as a president. You know what I'm saying? And so those are the three production of the three how you call it factors of production. You have missionary, then you have labor, then you have a capital. Those three cannot, you cannot produce any kind of shit in the world without those three labor. Even though in Africa it's a little different. My mom and dad were farmers. You know what I'm saying? See, in Liberia, we grow rice and cassava and shit. Our means of production, we didn't have much of a capital, but we depend on human labor and and we don't have not much money machinery to produce, so we depend on the capitals were in the form of rice and grain of rice or a root of cassava and shit like that. When we plant those, so they grow into the well, and the dividends or the product is the rice that we get or the cassava that we get. It depends what you plant, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't have much of a capital to start with, you know what I'm saying? Our form of capital, like I said, was either the grain of rice that we plant freaking into the soil or the root of the cassava that we plant into the soils, and consequently we harvest when it is time to be harvested, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, factor of production, you know what I'm saying? And so, but economics and political science were my thing, were my thing, you know, doing economy, you know what I'm saying? Let me doing economic. Economy is the money, is the money that circulate into the government or into society, whereas economy is a subject, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to mix these two words together, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But economics was my thing, you know what I'm saying? We studied supplies and demand, you know, you know, you have to maximize your utility. It doesn't matter what what utility you are consuming. You know what I'm saying? I learned marginal utility of marginal marginal utility marginal utility of consumption. That is marginal utility of consumption. For example, I'm a smoker. I smoke now and then, so and some motherfucker with a cigarette. Let's say cigarette is 100%. If you smoke half of a cigarette, you have consumed 50% of it. If you consume, let's say three-fourths of it, you have consumed 75% of the cigarette. Whereby if you consume and smoke every goddamn tobacco that is in a cigarette, you have smoke 50%, 100% of that cigarette. You have maximize utility of that consumption. That is, you have smoked every goddamn drop of a tobacco that is in a cigarette or in a weed or a joint or whatever. If you smoke all your joint, that you almost burning your finger, you have maximized the utility of that consumption of that weed. So we learned that too. I do. We have a marginal revenue and marginal marginal revenue. I'm sorry, I'm going out of here.